Good morning, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I would like to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring so far on this early morning update. First off, I do have my new tablet that I'm starting to use today, so hopefully the quality looks a little bit better and it sounds a little bit better for each and every one of you. This is the first time I'm using it, but I've had the same tablet since 2021. Due to the generosity of the audience, I used some of the funds back in the early days to buy a tablet when I was on my phone. And now finally 3 years later, I waited for the new Galaxy tablet to come out, and Julie got me it for Christmas. And now it should be a lot easier to hear, and it should be a little bit clearer as well. Still got to work on some of the nuances here, but it seems to be working very well so far, and I'm very happy to be able to bring you a little bit better technology. And then in the lives this evening, I think it's going to be a lot more entertaining as well, because it'll be a little bit better quality as well. So with that being said, what we've been looking out here for is that Bitcoin is in this rising broadening wedge, it looks like. I know some people are calling it a rising triangle, but I mean, to me, it looks like a rising broadening wedge. Sure, you can make the short term into a rising triangle if you want, but this looks like a rising broadening wedge. These are bearish consolidations, and with the emergence of not just the rising broadening wedge, but these death crosses that have passed in here with Bitcoin. It invalidated it very briefly overnight and yesterday. But once again, we can see that we got rejected on the 20-day at about 96,600. And now we find Bitcoin at about 95,300 range. So this could be the start of another breakdown. If this rising broadening wedge or the ascending broadening wedge plays out properly, Bitcoin would find itself, if this does break down, we've talked about the breakdown cycle, and if it actually breaks down the way that it's set up, it could be interesting, because you get a breakdown from the rising broadening wedge, and then that would bring you down to about 70, technical target would be about 75,700 area. So that's where my next stop is. Assuming that this breaks down, that's where I assume the market, or that's where I can see the market going. We've got an FVG, which is a fair value gap on Bitcoin, sitting right down there in that area, right around, and I know you could say it's between 70 and 85,000, but it's more targeted in near that 72 to 75,000 range, in my opinion. So will it play out? That's something we have to see. I'm not a wizard, but according to the technicals, we have to be on high alert with the rising broadening wedge that this could be a bearish consolidation. Not that the pattern's completely over, but that we need to come down and back test the fair value gap zone, and then we could start to work out of it if we're bullish. So that's the scenario that I'm looking at right now, assuming that this doesn't break this death cross and this rising broadening wedge plays out in Bitcoin. It gives us a nice little hint, just like Ethereum's trying to do. Ethereum's in a very similar rising broadening wedge, and we targeted it yesterday from where the death cross was at on the rejection at 3,500, and if that plays true, it should get us down somewhere near 2,400 area. So that's if these play out bearishly. We can still figure a way out of this, but we would need to invalidate right now and break over the 200 above 3,500. But got to be above 3,500 for Ethereum to break this consolidation to the downside. But to me, it looks like a topping reversal. Looks like we're coming down on a right arm. So I'm not afraid of this. In fact, I'm embracing this to see what kind of opportunity we will have going forward. But just to be aware, if this happens, this is a 30% drop by Ethereum. It's a, let's see what it would be for Bitcoin. So a 30% drop from Ethereum from where it's at. And for Bitcoin, a 20%. 22% for Bitcoin, 28% for Ethereum. XRP, and I took a lot of heat yesterday for my analysis, but that's okay. I'd rather tell you the truth and be hated than be loved by telling you bullshit. That's just where I stand. So you either love me or hate me, but I'm going to tell you the truth regardless. I really don't care. So if it came to worst case scenario and we broke down and there's a pennant flag right now, I moved this out in case it wanted to come into like a falling channel. But if we go into the other chart, it'll make it a lot easier for you to understand. If we break down out of this pennant flag, and I'll do the intro here in a sec, but I wanted to front load this with information. And then if everybody wants to leave, they can. I take what I do very seriously. I don't do it as a fun thing. I do this very seriously, and I take very serious consideration in how I do my analysis. So I don't need anybody to be my friend when I'm trying to be truthful. I know it's easier to be my friend when I'm telling you what you want to hear, but I'm trying to be as honest and transparent as I can. So if you don't want to be my friend because you guys call me the bearish bitch again, like I seen in comments yesterday, that's fine. But I'd rather be 100% on the money and 100% transparent with my audience so that you don't have to get bent over the railing in the future proceedings. So what I'm seeing right here, XRP still in a very bullish pennant flag. The problem is here is I can see it's kind of a setup. The way the volume's playing out right now, it almost feels to me like this is false gravata, and we're better off looking at this inverse setup that could be forming here in the very near short term, but still have that positive mindset that this can play out to the front side. It's just we're starting to get these bearish indicators. So all I speculated was maybe it does come down there to create an inverse head and shoulders. It can fill that gap down at 92 cents and then play itself out. And that's how we speculated that maybe it isn't some kind of falling channel to overrun it. You know, this is just looking out into the future to try to see if we can get down to that FVG at 92 cents. You don't have to come right on it, but you do need to come near it 97% of the time. And that's not a made-up stat, but it is 97% of the time you fill the gaps. That still leaves 3 out of 100 times when you can leave them be. But we'll see how this plays out. Maybe we can get a positive spike here. And like I said, XRP still on a pennant flag. So until that breaks down, it's perceived as bullish. But I'm just looking at all the fundamentals that are starting to add up right now. We've got the 1 billion release from escrow on the 1st of January. So, I mean, these are the times of the month where it generally gets a little volatile for XRP and the rest of crypto typically follows. So we'll see if we can get some kind of positive spike. But as of right now, this is looking more and more bearish as the days go on, at least in the immediate short term. Long term, still very bullish, but we're looking for that big correction. And there's nothing wrong with that. If it breaks to the top side, we'll go, whew, okay, that feels a little bit better. But until that sigh of breath happens, or until you can take that deep breath, I'm going to be brutally honest with everybody. Good morning. 10:08 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, December 27th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I can't wait to get over with this update because I'm going to walk a mile up to the gym, go beat myself up a little bit, take an inner look at what exactly is going on because I'm being very upfront with myself on what I believe is going on in the markets. I've done what I need to do with profit taking as far as over-the-top positions. I still have everything you see on this board except in a smaller amount. Besides like XRP, I didn't touch XLM. Certain ones I didn't touch, but the ones that I had way overweighted, I decided to take my couple 100% and then let the market shake itself out because it's been nothing short of a shakeout since Christmas Day, as we've talked about. 5 years in a row now, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, all bearish on Christmas. All bearish on Christmas and the days following. But then to start the new year, in each of the previous 4 cycles, we've had a nice bullish continuation at the beginning of January. So get through these 4 or 5 days. Let the red wave come through. You're seeing it in XDC almost under 7 cents now. You can see a big wave coming through in VELO down 10%, almost down back to the 2.5 level. So, I mean, you're seeing it across the market. You're not seeing much up. You've got 5% on AMP, but that'll give it back if it's meant to, if the day goes the way, if it goes the bearish route. You've got ZIL up 1.8%. You got DGB up about 1%. But the finer details here, HBAR down another 1.4 after having a good day a couple days ago. We need a reversal here. We need some kind of strength here. Maybe Bitcoin could get a little positive buying momentum here. We just need to invalidate that structure. If we can invalidate that, we could get hot here. It's just if we don't invalidate this, we've already set up a setup here where we do have the finer death cross, and it's not just in the smaller time frames. It's taking over in the 4-hourly if this continues. And then in the daily time frame, we've still got to come all the way back down to the 20-day. Like, we've not tested it, and that's all the way down at 80,000 in the weekly. And then in the monthly, it just pulled back so much that it looks like we're just on a consolidatory phase right now. We can't help that. In the weekly, we had a reversal candle last week. And this week we've done ourselves no favors. And the candle ends on Sunday in 2 days and 9 hours. So as of right now, this looks like it wants to have a continuing tug to the downside. I'm not really seeing the rising triangle everybody's talking about. And I'm seeing a rising broadening wedge. I could turn it into a triangle, but it would be improper technical analysis. I don't see the rising triangle. I see a rising broadening wedge. And until it becomes invalidated, I got to look at the downward momentum as well as the up. So this could lead us down to 75,700 area on Bitcoin. That's just me being honest with my audience. If you don't want to hear the truth, that's fine. If you don't want to acknowledge what's about to happen or what could possibly happen, like I said, that's fine. It's your portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. But what I take seriously about my job here is that I'm going to tell you the truth no matter what. And today, I got to be a dick, just like yesterday. Like, would you rather me be a dick or lie to you so that you think you're going to make wealth that's not there? It's the same reason I've been telling everybody I don't suggest buying it after that massive 400 to 500% move across the market. A lot of people got pissed, but hey, I'm not going to lie to you just so you can feel good. So, I mean, right now it's not looking the best. We are in a pennant flag, but right now everything's indicating that this is going to drop down here today at least. Maybe we do hold. Maybe XRP does have the testicular fortitude to hold that $2 level. But we'll see in the short term, it looks like. It looks like we're going to see that in the very immediate short term. That's about an 8% drop to $1.98 range. So if this breaks down, it's a problem. If we break that $1.98 pennant flag support, it's a problem. If we create a lower low, that's also a problem. Right now we have lower highs and higher lows successfully, which is still set up in a pennant flag and can still be a bullish consolidation. But once you make that first lower low, in a sense, it's over. So we do need some positive momentum here today. You know, just because something goes bearish doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Just because we have a bearish stretch doesn't mean the rally's over. But what it does look like is they're trying to fund our national debt and pay the interest balance each month that they can't afford on interest even. Our 70 plus trillion in debt. It seems like they're using retail to pay the debt right now. And what that means is they're going to overinflate crypto and then they're going to use it in a layer fashion to wither every little dollar out of retail, and they're going to use that money to pay the debt. It seems like they're going to rinse and repeat all the way to the bottom. I've noticed a formation that's set up since on Bitcoin 109,000 roughly. It's been there on XRP ever since that 272 push back up in the fake out in the dragon pattern. And now it looks like it's a slow crawl to liquidate as much money as possible out of retail. That's just what I'm seeing. It reminds me of 2021 all over again. It's just we're at much higher levels for XRP. A lot of the other cryptos at much lower levels. That's why I said XRP's fared very well compared to the rest of crypto. If you're just being honest, look at Algo at 31 cents. Or 33 cents. Back then it was over $2. IOTA was over $2. You know, XLM was up almost at $1, 80 something cents. DGB was up at 15 cents. You know, ZIL was up over 20. VChain was over 20. HBAR was over 40, 50, 60. You know, we're not in the same range right now. Something's different. I know we're not willing to talk about it across crypto, but for how good XRP's doing is as bad as most of the rest of these tokens are doing. In comparison, if you've been sitting in these since 2021, a lot of them you're down 90% right now, and that's not a joke. XRP you're not, because it's actually got a higher high right now even than it had for its high all the way in the cycle of 2021. That's why it feels different for XRP. But at the same time, you know, you can't edge out the fact that it feels like we have a big consolidatory tone here, or zone. So that's something that I'm watching very closely. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate this update or you appreciate my content, make sure to hit that like button. Turn that notification on so that you don't miss future content, assuming YouTube advises you that I'm on. And then subscribe to the channel and join the over 30,300 subscribers. We did lose about 15 subscribers yesterday, which is fine. We gained them all back today and then a couple more. But it was interesting to see a big slew of, I think it was 27 people that unsubscribed after my live yesterday, because I was showing the bearishness. Like I said, in 2021, this is nothing new. When I had to talk about the bearish, I lost half my audience. So I'm going to tell you both sides so that you can go from 4 to 5 to 6 figures like we have here. But the way to go backwards, 6 to 5 to 4 again, is not to pay attention to the signals. The same signals that told me we were about to have a huge rally are the same signals that are telling me we've got to fill the lower levels. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping the charts are misleading right now. But in my gut, in the pit of my stomach, I know that the charts are the charts, and they're not here to do an emotional tirade. They're here for the ones who can understand at a deeper level and give you a little bit of a heads up. At no point here does it look good to me right now. It doesn't look good to me. What we did on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day was come up for the rejection and the death cross. All we did was hit the death cross rejection point. That would verify a death cross to have a continuation. So I keep saying we need some volume. We need something to change this appearance if we want to go back bullish. XRP still got down to $1.98 in the pennant flag. So technically we could drop about 10% and still stay in this bullish consolidation. But I am not liking what I'm seeing so far. If you're looking to trade crypto, not just in the USA, but abroad, and you're looking for the lowest maker-taker fee, maybe you're a leverage trader, maybe you're a spot trader, that's your own forte, I can't tell you what to do. That's BITUNIX, the lowest spot and leverage trading fees that I have found. The maker-taker fee is the lowest period in the USA. No KYC or VPN, it's just a trading exchange. You're not sending or receiving from a bank account, so you're going to have to fund it from another crypto account. HOTCOIN, they have VELO, IOTA, XDC, ESC, and many more. They have leverage and spot. A little bit more on the maker-taker. You have higher leverage options. Great option. Crypto.com, take it serious because that's where you can get the crypto debit card up to $25,000 that you can put on that crypto debit card. And remember, when you have your stuff in USD, it's backed $250K by the Federal Depositors Insurance, just like at your bank. I mean, you can hold it as far as you can throw it, but at least it gives you some kind of federal backing. When you're in your crypto positions, it's not available because crypto is so volatile, it can't guarantee you funds. But when it's sitting safely in USD, they absolutely can, or when it's in the crypto debit card. So don't overlook that. If you want to send a donation outside of YouTube, there's PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Or you can join Tom's Army, which would be great. It would be great to see a new member in these trying times. Most people leave, and that's okay. But as we've come on, Bitcoin's down about 800 points since I started this update. XRP's now fallen from the 218 level to the 214. And I just want you guys to pay attention and take seriously what I'm saying. You can hate me or love me, but I'm going to tell you the truth, and you should take it seriously when I tell you to. And like I said 5 or 6 days ago, it's time to get prepared. We were at $2.40. I said, look out for that bearish shit. It's time. Not because I wanted to come on and be brutally honest, but because I had to. And now we sit down just from that day, just from the rejection point that we just got in the not-so-distant past. And I took a lot of criticism when we were up here. A lot. We came up to 240. And now just from when I was trying to put out that warning, we're down 12.2%. Which from that point when I put the warning out, even if we come down and hold the $1.88, $1.77, if it comes way down there. Hell, if we hold the $1.98, it's a 17-point drop. If we hold what could become a falling channel, that's at 26.7%. If it comes all the way down to that fair value gap zone, it could be as bad as a 60% wash from when I put the warning out. So it's not because I want to, it's because I have to. I'm XRP future millionaire. Get with it or your portfolio is going to disappear. Every single cycle comes with a top and it comes with a bottom. If you're buying closer to the top, you're going to end up bottomless. You're going to be bottomed out very quickly. If you bought from the bottom, you have all the ability in the world to watch it as it consolidates. I've talked about the right arm many, many times. I don't buy and sell the head. I don't sell the head on a bull market. I sell the right arm. I don't know how we can possibly say that this isn't forming right arms across the market right now. If this is the case and this pulls down, you're going to be able to see the very clear right arm happening, especially on Ethereum. So it's one of those things. Are we coming down to 3,100? Or are these rising broadening wedges going to break down and the technical target's going to have to be fulfilled? Because that's not even the real technical target. That's the midway point. The real technical target on a drop is like 2,100 on Ethereum. So pay attention. Pay very close attention. Sometimes you have to hear what you don't want to. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Most will tell you what you want to hear, but not what you need to hear. That's the difference between my community and most. I'm going to tell you absolutely what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And as long as I know that you know, that I know, that you know, that I know, that you know, that I know, you need to pay attention. Because all I need to know is that I know that you know. That's good enough for me. So with that being said, have a blessed morning. Don't forget to give thanks to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And don't find this an emotional tirade right now. Find this an opportunity. If you missed it in the bear market, watch these. Watch these. Watch this. Don't look at it and beg it to go up. Don't tell the pattern what it has to do. The number one problem we have, especially with the ones who don't understand the technicals, they're trying to tell a pattern what to do when it can't do it. Pay attention to the pattern and you won't be left behind.